They've been great. Players have been great. I couldn't ask for them to be more excited, more enthusiastic, to compete as hard as they competed. I couldn't ask for more from those guys. They've been phenomenal.
Your objective as installing your system, starting from scratch, I would imagine every coach coming through here says the first 10 to 15 days is critical. I would assume absolutely so in your case.
Oh, absolutely. It's if you don't create, it's like, can we eventually be a team that can compete for a championship? Well, we won't unless we do our job starting day one. Well, it's the same way with this season, which is a smaller microcosm of the bigger picture. If you don't, from day one, you don't create that foundation, then as soon as the storm comes, and it's coming, regardless of what year you're in, then your home's going to get blown down because you got no foundation for it to stand on. Sometimes storms come by and you lose a window or a shingle or something like that, and you repair it, but your home is still strong. And that's why those first 10, 15 days are so important, because that's where you create your foundation of the strength of your team and continue to build from there.
Coach, I read recently where you're also trying to do that in the community around campus.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk about that, building the foundation and some excitement and that support on campus?
Well, it's to compete for a championship, you need everyone both feet in. It can't just be the players. It can't just be the coaches. You need your alums. You need your students. You need your boosters. You need your administration. Everyone's got to be committed and excited about the mission. And that's my job. It's as the leader of our basketball program, it's my job to engage all the people that we need to be a part of it. And that's what I've been trying to do.
Players that have stood out so far, I know we're still early, just 2 weeks in. Is there anybody that's taken a leadership role or that are going to be key as we get going?
Well, when you're undefeated, everyone looks good, and that's kind of where we're at. But no, Eric Smith has been awesome. Lachey Page, given the fact that it's his first year there at the school, he's also he's when we talked about him coming in as a transfer student, even though it was just for a year, he's brought the exact same things that we were hoping he'd bring from a leadership standpoint and an excitement standpoint about, coming over from a very successful team that went to the NCAA tournament and understanding the path that you take to get there. And he's brought that. R.J. Slauson's been great. The three freshmen, given the fact, here's what's been exciting about those guys. About the returning players, they're trying to learn their way. They don't know all the things that we want as a staff, and they're trying to learn it and figure it out. But while they're doing that, they've been so willing to help those freshmen, and the freshmen have been great. They've been prepared well with their previous coaches at their high schools because they've been engaged, and they don't take shortcuts. They're really accepting coaching, they're accepting instruction, and then they're listening to those older players, and that's exciting, which is such an early stage to be able to see all that taking place.
Coach, I want to get this question in, but come back to what you just made. Your view of the league as we sit here in October, obviously very early, but now 1 through 14, your perspective of the SEC.
Well, in Missouri and A&M, you're basically adding two mainstays in the NCAA tournament over the last 6 years or whatever it's been. I know A&M had a difficult year last year, but they went through difficult circumstances, from a coaching change to Billy BK, being sick, and then players getting hurt, and it was a difficult year. Well, they've weathered the storm. They're going to be real good this year, and before that, they've been to 5 consecutive NCAA tournaments and moved on in the tournament. Missouri, pretty much a top 5 team, all of last year. So you're adding 2 quality programs to a league that's won 3 of the last 6 or 7 national championships, to a league that had the players drafted in the NBA 1, 2, and 3. The SEC's it's as a league is at a place right now. When you look at a team like Andy Kennedy at Ole Miss, and he's had 6 seasons of 20 wins or more, and he feels that this is by far the best team he's had in his time there, it should just tell you the kind of strength. Alabama, I think Anthony's proven that he's built that program up to where it's a mainstay in NCAA tournament time conversation. And you know, and then you take, you know, Tennessee. Kwanzo's done a great job in regrouping that program, and you know, and Florida, Kentucky. They're the top 2 programs in this league, and they do an unbelievable job of carrying that SEC flag and representing it the right way with their successes in non-conference play and the way that they go out and compete in the NCAA tournament. And it's I'll be, not that I'm an expert at this, but understanding the teams that are in place and the coaches that are in place. If this league doesn't get 7, 8 teams in the NCAA tournament this year, I'll be extremely surprised.